2022 is in full swing, and it's an important year for software developers. It's interesting to see how quickly technology is changing. And for software developers, the job continues to get tougher because they're the ones that are developing these software solutions. On the flip side, this also means opportunities to learn, grow, and acquire new skills. Working with these technologies is a chance to explore new horizons in the software development field. So why is it important to follow software development trends? I'll give you an example. Almost a handful of years back, most of us didn't know anything about machine learning and how it functions. However, AI and machine learning are common parts of software applications like Google, Facebook, and Netflix. So it's no surprise that there are many machine learning students these days. Likewise, there are so many software development trends that will shape the way of the future. The predictions for software development industry are mind-blowing. For instance, you can expect rapid digital transformations in companies. Nearly 64% of companies are turning to digital solutions. The infrastructure as a service market will be worth up to $64 billion this year, and the global retail sales contain more than 22% portion for online sales. And also, low-code products will be more used considerably than previous years. And outsourcing of services will grow up to 66% this year, which means work for freelance software developers are growing. So as a software developer, you can expect more work and more job prospects this year. But do you have the skill set needed for these jobs? In this video, we'll talk about the new trends in software development that you should look to focus on in 2022 and beyond. So let's get started. First, we have Internet of Things. IoT has been a buzzword in the tech industry for quite some time now, but it's still a relatively new field. More importantly, IoT in the combination with big data and AI is changing the tech industry setup, so it's vital technology to focus on. With IoT, you can work on developing networks that use sensors for easing our lives. As a software developer, your job is to design tools and applications that support IoT functionalities and make them easier to use for common people. If you want an example, think of tools like Alexa, Siri, or Google Assistant. If you want to work with IoT, I suggest you learn the implementation of IoT smart cities because it's a red-hot field in the coming years. Next, we got progressive web apps. PWAs, as they're also called, are rapidly becoming popular, and they're a way for more PWA apps than ever before. When you work with PWA apps as a software developer, your job will combine native apps with web accessibility. As a result, it'll improve user experience and relieve the users from updating their mobile devices. More importantly, progressive web applications are futuristic because they work with lightweight and easy to search code. Companies are quickly switching to PWAs to improve security, responsiveness, and implement easy to install solutions. It means that progressive web apps are here to stay for a long time, so it makes sense to start learning them now. Next, we have low-code development, perhaps another technology for the future. Low-code development is a new paradigm for software developers. It is set to transform the lives for both commoners and businesses. Essentially, low-code development will remove the dependency from code, which means our applications will be easier to build for non-developers by leveraging GUIs to build software solutions. According to experts, low-code development is set to produce a whopping $187 billion by 2030. By 2024, there'll be 64% more low-code applications. So why not try your hand and become part of this journey now? Next, we have big data. Big data bursts onto the scene, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. With all a considerable portion of businesses turning to digitalization, companies are concerned about their data security more than ever. 2022 is therefore an important year for big data because experts believe big data will be available as data as a service this year, so companies will access relevant data to avoid redundancy. Also, the future is heavily invested in data science, so when you combine it with big data, there will be even more data-driven solutions. So whether it's about professional services, the e-commerce industry, finance, health, or engineering, the impacts of big data will be huge. One great example of big data is Netflix. As a viewer, you'll always see relevant content and how it's set to revolutionize the industry. Next, we have augmented reality. Augmented reality lets customers try virtual reality for their online purchases. For example, you can try clothing and makeup without even touching them. While some AR products are already on the market, the technology is set to go rapidly for the next few years. Software developers, you can try your hand in 3D augmented reality because that's the ultimate goal. Right now, it's more inclined towards 2D mapping. If you're a gaming enthusiast, you might have already been familiar with AR and how it enhances user experience. So it's a promising area that has immense potential for businesses, especially in the retail sector. Next, we have hyperautomation. Hyperautomation is all about high-speed automation, and it's what companies are looking for. The new software development technologies rely heavily on hyperautomation thanks to newly developed IoT products and other automation solutions. Some reports predict that hyperautomation will take over half of the coding industry by the end of 2022. Half of our code will be written automatically. Some people believe that hyperautomation is inspired from cognitive automation, especially when it comes to decision intelligence. Next, we have artificial intelligence. Many of you are already familiar with the value of AI. It's a discipline that not only appeals to software developers, but to health practitioners, finance professionals, engineers, and computer scientists. As machines learn to make their own decisions, your job as a software developer is to design efficient and faster algorithms for the web and native applications. AI is already a saturated market, but it keeps growing, so there's always room for more. So it's a good technology to look into in 2022. As a software developer, you can make the most of AI by automating low-end tasks through machine learning algorithms. AI has different variations like machine learning, deep learning, speech and natural language processing. The discipline invites a worth of nearly $2.9 trillion and is expected to grow in the next 5 years. It's a must-learn technology if you want to target the future job market. Some of the most promising applied areas include image and audio recognition, scalable processing, chatbots, and AI-powered maintenance. Next, we have blockchain. Blockchain technology has plenty of opportunities for future applications, which is why it's a good time to invest your time and effort into learning this technology. Whether it's data security, transparency, and decentralization, blockchain-based systems have a wider application in the upcoming years. Since blockchain works on a peer-to-peer communication, it's a robust form of technology and is a must-learn if you want to excel in software development for the future. As a software developer, you can use blockchain to improve supply chain management. You can design efficient algorithms to prevent unnecessary paperwork. Moreover, blockchain can help with identity management by using tamper-proof data. It will promote secure IoT networks through decentralization networks. Some experts believe blockchain technology will grow to be worth $5.76 billion in the next 4 years. So it's a great time to start learning the technology to make most in the future. Next, we have code quality. While it isn't exactly a new area, there are a few things that will never change. Software development relies heavily on factors like code readability, consistency, predictability, and maintenance, and robustness. So while you're learning all the fancy technology in 2022, it's equally important to improve your basic coding skills. I suggest you join platforms like GitHub and Stack Overflow and keep improving as a software developer. Please give this video a like if you found it useful, and consider subscribing to catch similar content in the future.